The reason your glue won't come out is because it's too thick. You can use glycerin to re-ink an embossing pad. Use your vintage spools for the lace ribbon. Always keep your gel printing plate laying flat. So this is a no-go. This really makes me sad. It's a great storage system, and I don't know why I don't tend to use these. Oh, this would make so much more sense, wouldn't it? I said in the video that I never use it. Why did I need to keep it? And they're really cool because obviously you can just take them off. There's a lot. My goodness. Welcome to part 3 of my craft supply decluttering and organization journey. I am so grateful for all the suggestions you have made. And I would like to go over a few of the ones that you've made after watching the first episode. So I've made notes here. And then I think I also need to tackle this door, which seems very organized, but I think there are some things I can get rid of there as well. So I wanted to share these tips that I received because maybe they will help some of you as well. So one was about this fine tipped little glue bottle. So one comment was, put a few drops of fingernail polish remover in it. It works like a charm. That is super interesting. Another comment was, G. Kerr waters down her glue to get it to come out easier from those little bottles. I use Scotch Create glue in them and they work great. Best glue ever for everything. And then another comment was, the reason your glue won't come out is because it's too thick. So maybe I will revisit this topic. I mean, the point is also that they are hard to squeeze. I don't know. I will think about it. I really appreciate it. Then there was a comment about these glue dots, because I'd never used them actually. They're apparently wonderful to attach stamped wax seals to cards for mailing out to people, Happy Mail, etc. Strong enough to hold them in place, but not so strong that they damage either the seal or the card. So there you go, very useful tip. Then there were a lot of comments about these wooden spools. Some of you had suggested that I use them as ink daubers, which is a great suggestion. You could just glue the Velcro on top. Love that. I do think I have enough of these. So I don't think I will be doing that. But I love the suggestion. Maybe that is something that you could do. Then a lot of you also said use your vintage spools for the lace ribbon, which would be a really cute thing to do. I would love that, but that's something I would do if I could put them on display or somewhere other than a box like this, because I don't really see the point in having a few wrapped lace pieces then here, which is then again separated from my lace box, which is bursting. So I don't really know how to put those two together. A lot of you had suggested that I put these wooden spools into this jar with Louise's buttons. I will show you what that would be like. Would it look cute? Yeah, I guess it would, but my issue with that is, and I don't want to be negative, because I do appreciate your suggestions, but every time I need to look for a button, I would first need to get out these wooden spools. That would annoy me, I think, every single time. So I don't think I'll be doing that either. Another idea was to just put these in another jar altogether. I would love that. That would look super cute, but then I don't know where to put the jar because I really don't have space for a jar anywhere. There were a few comments about the glycerin because I said I didn't know what I would use it for, but I wanted to keep it. So one comment was, pop a drop in your brush washing water to condition the bristles. Awesome tip. You can use glycerin to re-ink an embossing pad. Also super interesting. And another one was, I use glycerin mixed in water in a spray bottle, about 1 tablespoon per 8 ounces of water, and I use it for dried up acrylic paint palettes and to rejuvenate my Inca Gold wax paints. Very, very useful tips. Thank you so much. And if you remember, I had asked you how you store your little lace scraps that are too short to wrap around cards like I did here. And a lot of you said glass jars, and I would love that. As you can see, I have some fabric scraps in a glass jar, and I love it because you can see them, they look cute, the jar is cute. And I would love to do that with these, but I don't know where to put the jars. I have this one under this table here, and every time I need it I have to go under the table, and it's actually on top of another box, so if I want to get the box out I have to first move the jar. It's just Not ideal. An idea would maybe be to put all the jars on top of my cupboard. That's something I would actually consider because that might just look very cute. These are my drawers of some of the ephemera I had made that I wanted to keep because I still enjoy them. And some of the comments I got on these were, I want to suggest that you don't have to use all the ephemera. To me, they are works of art in themselves. I keep a box of small projects and I love looking back through them, sometimes simply to admire them. Sometimes I rediscover a technique. So that's a very interesting comment and something I would have never considered because I always thought if I'm making something, I need to put it in a journal. Very valid comment. Definitely gives me something to think about. Another comment was, if I made all those ephemera bits I couldn't part with and I had wall space, I'd do a collage of it all as wall art. That's a fun idea to make some wall art. I unfortunately don't have the space unless I use that black side door. And then about the lace again, I do cards with the lace bits you have just as you did with the strips. Only I'd pin or staple a bunch of bits to the card, all separated, so I could see everything I'd have. Each card would look like a collage of lace. So that's a cute idea as well. And then many of you had suggested that I should make a journal only using the items from my stash. I don't know if I would like that, to be honest. This might sound weird, but I kind of have the feeling it would seem stale. Just because I feel like even though I like these bits that I kept, they're not current. And I feel like I'm developing all the time. And if I would just use these, I would just seem kind of stale to me. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I could imagine pairing it with more current items. One person commented, I think a lot of your ephemera would fit your urban nature junk journal. That's an idea I am seriously considering because a lot of these are like nature themed and I think a lot of these might work. Maybe not so much the smaller bits, but I have this other drawer with the bigger bits. That is something I might actually do. Maybe you remember I was so happy that I could put all my jelly plate printing things in one of these little drawers and I was so happy to have it all in place. And then I read a comment which shattered all my dreams of storing these. But I'm so happy I got that comment because it's an important one. And it said, I just wanted to warn you on storing your jelly plates on their edges. I did that and gravity got a hold of them and after about 3 months, they got a crease in the top near the edge. If you read the packaging, it tells you to keep them horizontal. I checked my packaging, which of course I never took the time to read. And it says under essential to know, store your gel printing plate in its original package or on a smooth tray or piece of glass. Always keep your gel printing plate laying flat on a smooth, clean surface. It's worth reading the packaging. So this is a no-go. This really makes me sad. I don't even have all the original packaging anymore, but I did keep these plastic things for the front and back side. So I think that is probably the essential part. So I came up with another idea. I had this beautiful wooden box that I was lucky enough to find at my Goodwill under my desk. And in here, I have some gorgeous vintage wooden stamps. Most of these are from an apple orchard in the US. A lot of these are numbers. I love these 2 bits and I obviously forget about them because they are under my desk in this box and they deserve to be used. So I figured this box might work well for my jelly plates and all the texture materials that I have to print with. So let's take all of these out. Because I'm thinking the jelly plates, I don't think I am as likely to forget about if I don't see them. But the stamps, I am. Because I'm thinking if I want to print with a jelly plate, I'll print with a jelly plate. You know what I mean? I don't need to see it to be inspired by it. I don't think. So now they're laying flat and they will go back underneath my desk where they are more hard to reach. But that's okay. So I feel better about that. Thank you so much for that comment. So then, of course, the question is, where do I put all these wonderful stamps? And I thought maybe a good place to store them would be in an open wooden box, this one, because this one currently isn't really working out for me anyway. And by the way, this is also where I have my golden scissors. It was cute. Some of you were asking about where these scissors are. So this is where they are. and it's not a good place because the way I have them shoved in like this, I can't really get anything that's in here out without having to first move the box out. So all of these things need to go somewhere else. So this is just a very dirty and used like writing board. This is a little ephemera storage book, which used to be a stamp album that I found at a local flea market. I never go in here, so I never use these bits, which is a shame. I don't know why. It makes so much sense to store them like this because you can see everything so easily. It's a great storage system, and I don't know why I don't tend to use these. It's really a shame. This one I do use more often. It's another postage stamp album for which I changed the cover. And this is where I keep my snippets that I cut out from old books that I can use as sentiments or quotes in my projects. I really love this. So this is something which is handy to have. This one here is a super cute box. I got this years ago. And I store some ephemera in here, which I never go into because I never think of looking into this box. So that's not practical either. Love the box though. This box is super practical. It has most of my metal elements except like the charms and the smaller eyelets. And this one here has some die cuts. Then I have some tweezers, which I love and use. Definitely want to keep those. This isn't the right spot for them, so the scissors need to go as well. And these clamps could go somewhere else as well. I have another box with these, which is this one, so I can just add these. Now, this is currently on my dining room table because I use these clamps all the time to keep my journals open while I work in them, so it doesn't really have a space either, which is a problem again. Let's save that problem for another day. So I'm going to clean this and put a paper on the bottom. So I added a piece of deli paper on the bottom so that I wouldn't ruin it with ink from the stamps. So let's see if I can make these fit in here. Yay, so they actually fit perfectly. Oh, this is so nice. This is much nicer actually than in the other box. Love that. So I will slide that back in here. And hopefully I will use these more now. I love that. So now, of course, I need to find a solution for all of these things. It's like you're just moving things around from one space to the other. I'm actually thinking of this space right here, which currently has one traveler's notebook that I'm still working in. And then these are traveler's notebooks and notebook covers that I'm not working in. I don't even know why these are here. These are envelopes that don't really need to be here. So that's kind of a waste of space right there. I think I can fit these envelopes and writing papers into a drawer I have. So I will attempt that. And behind these traveler's notebooks, I found another box. This one has a bunch of old and very dirty erasers and sharpeners. I will try out these sharpeners. I doubt that they work very well. I have one that I love and that I use all the time, so I don't think I will be keeping these. And I think the only eraser I will keep is this one, which is dirty, but I can clean it up. And this is a good one. These, I'm sure I just bought because they're cute, but they're in a horrible state. I'm sure they don't work very well. I don't need to keep any of these. I have a good eraser that I like working with. And these here are my beloved traveler's notebooks. So this is the one I'm still working in. I've been working in this, I think, for over a year. And I do it sporadically, but there's still a few pages I have not completed, like here. So there's still quite a bit I need to do in here. So this is basically a current one that I want to keep somewhere where I can access it easily. I have this adorable traveler's notebook with an original insert. I don't think the cover is original traveler's notebook, but it doesn't matter. It's cute. And what did I do here? I kept this as a food diary. 2018 food diary. I don't know. What do you do with this? I'm never going to go back and read the food diary, I think. Here's another cover. This is a different size. I don't know what size this is. I'm actually not loving this one. It's also not original. I think I might donate this one. I love the cover though. Oh, it's so hard. The thing is, I probably wouldn't miss it if I would donate it because I wouldn't remember that I had it. So I'm going to donate this and be strong. This here is another insert for food diary from 2019. Still plenty of pages left. This is another standard size, not original traveler's notebook cover. I still love it though. Love how worn it is. I even embossed Ferdinand dragonflies in here. Yeah, the D is upside down. The R is very wonky. It doesn't matter. I still love it. So this one I am keeping for sure. Maybe I want to put my diary in here. But they don't need to be here on display. You know what I mean? If I'm not using them, then what's the point of keeping them there? And this is another not original one, and this is one I'm going to get rid of. I'm definitely going to keep this insert. This is one I made from a Daphne's Diary magazine, and I never worked in it. Yeah, and I can't see myself working in it, so that is something that I need to get rid of. And this one I can clean up and then keep it maybe in this one. So I'm getting rid of this and this. Yay. And this insert. And I will do my best to find a space on my bookshelf to store these. Good luck to me. Now I'm wondering if I should take this shelf out and then I could stand these two ephemera holders up and add the other bits that I don't know where to store. I'm not taking these things out yet because I want to see if that works before I do that. Oh, this would make so much more sense, wouldn't it? My writing board. I'm not sure this is the right spot for this one. I will have to think about that one. This one I think I can fit in here. I'm not sure if it's a permanent solution that makes sense though. There's quite a bit of space behind it, but of course whenever I store there, I won't think about and I won't find. So I'm not sure if I should use it. So I'm going to put these here with my other embellishments. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, that fits nicely. And since we want to store similar things together, I should not keep these separate. I should put them where the other scissors are. And by the way, there was another comment saying that when I organized my kids' scissors and I had them in one of these clear boxes, she said I should add them to my scissors because that way I would see them and think of using them. Brilliant, thank you, I did that. I actually got rid of 2 of the scissors and I'm only keeping these 2. And actually, if I'm honest, I don't even need this one because I have these scissors here, which is the same version in large. So why do I need a second smaller pair? I don't. So I'm going to donate this one as well. That way I can hang these here. I actually rewatched that first video and I realized how many times I was contradicting myself in that video. I went through my boxes again and I actually got rid of more stuff. Like for example, that big can of spray glue. Like I said in the video that I never used it. Why did I need to keep it? I don't. So I decluttered that one as well. And there were a couple of other things I just didn't see the point in keeping. So yay me. And then I still need a place for my tweezers. And I think maybe this here would be a good spot because I can just grab them very easily from here. And they won't be in the way like they were before. So that's awesome as well. I was looking through this morning and there were definitely a few things I can get rid of. For example, these 3 corner punches. I never use them anymore. I'm sure many of you will say, oh, they're beautiful, you shouldn't, but I don't use them, so what's the point? I would rather donate them for someone else to appreciate. And same thing for these 3. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So I have some space free, and I could move this punch up to join the other punches, so that it can go right there. This space down here, by the way, is also a part where I could add some Velcro pockets, and I will show you those on the other door. There were a lot of suggestions for the door on the other side, which I will get to in a bit. So now I have this free. Maybe I could put my gilding waxes together there. So I have one here. I used to put washi tape rolls on these rods, but that was totally not practical because when you need it, you need to kind of go down there and just get a piece. And I like to kind of hold the washi tape rolls to my project to see if it will work together. And that was just very unpractical. Then you remember maybe I had these three and I could add these here. So I freed up some space here. And I could add these powder colors, of which I have 4 altogether, down there, because these didn't really fit in here either. So I have another one here. I had all these water brushes in here, and I think I can probably get rid of half of them because I don't ever use them because they're just not good. So I know these are crap, as is this one, and this one. So I will keep these 3, and these are the ones I actually enjoy using. Oh, and I have this one. This is the Caran d'Ache one I recently purchased and I love as well. These punches here are kind of cramped together and I always have a problem getting whichever one is in the back out. So I can now move maybe this bigger one to this side, and that will make it easier to get these 2 out when I need them. So this is a very basic standard hole punch. This one here is for smaller holes. And this is a very cool one which has like this slot punch, which I think is made for like ID cards, but it's really cool for tags. You can look for something like this on Amazon. Look for slot ID punch. That's better already. I just remember someone had made the remark about these punches, whether they were magnetic and you could just store them by putting on a magnetic wall, which would be so awesome. But I don't think they would because the metal is always inside. So I don't think they would stick to a magnetic wall. Unfortunately, I would love that. And then I think it would make sense to move these 2 corner punches. So I have a small one and a large one up to the other punches where I have some space now up here. So I wanted to show you this right door so that you could see what it looks like when I attach all the Velcro see-through pockets that come with the cabinet. So amazing storage space, and they're really cool because obviously you can just take them off and take them to your craft desk. I mean, it really makes sense. It's deep enough so that you can actually put a lot of stuff in here. Maybe that's something I need to consider, given all the things that I haven't been able to put in my craft closet, because what you're seeing here is all the things that are organized, but you're not seeing the things that are like underneath my dining table and on my dining table, which is where I craft, and in my bookshelves and in other drawers around the house. So I definitely could use more space. I want to share some of the comments I received about this door. One viewer said she updated this side door to look the same as the one on the left where I'm storing all my tools. So that would be a really good idea. I would have to see if that is possible, if I could just order another one of those doors. Another comment was about these pouches, because I had mentioned that I feel it just looks too cluttered once these are filled up. So she suggested to place a solid colored paper in front of everything you're storing inside. And then I could make labels for that colored paper so that I know what's inside. That's definitely something worth thinking about. Another viewer that has apparently the same cupboard says, I'm thinking of putting rods or dowels on the black area and attaching hanger clips, perhaps for additional storage of scissors. And attaching a dowel would also allow me to put my large punches there. So I guess that's an option if you're good with DIY, which I'm not. Another viewer said, I think your little bits of lace might look nice pinned to the door you don't use. It might be nice to put a pastel, collage, or masterboard behind them. Very interesting idea. And another viewer said, I was wondering if you could have an iron bar where you could hang all the punches. I have seen the idea on Pinterest with IKEA items. First of all, I don't know how I would hang punches, to be honest, because they don't have anything to hang them on. So I'm not sure how I would do that. But even if I could hang them, honestly, I don't think I would do that, because every time I open and close the door, they would just swing and clatter against it, which I'm not a fan of. So I really need to give this door more thought. It's kind of a shame I have all these pouches and I'm not using them. So maybe that is something I should consider, to finally store more of the things I have around other parts of my house in here. So I spontaneously went out and found these very cute jars. These are the small ones. They were only €2.19 a piece, and the same ones in large for €3.19 a piece. So really good deal. I'm so happy. And while I was there, I also found these, and I just had to get these because I think they're really nice for journal covers. I couldn't help myself. Don't judge. So first I will refill Louise's buttons into one of these. I do love this jar a lot, but it actually goes into my kitchen. Because of course when you have all of the containers looking the same, it looks a lot nicer. So that's perfect. Really cute. Next I will add these, I think, to one of the smaller ones. I'm so excited. Isn't it interesting how these little things, these little changes just make us so happy? It was so fun reading in all your comments how many of you are spending so much time organizing and reorganizing your craft supplies all the time. So yeah, I'm not alone in this, and you're not either. So that's perfect as well. Super cute. Then I'll use one of the bigger jars for all my lace scraps. The only thing is, of course, that now these scraps are separated from each other. I kind of also like the idea of having lace with lace, but I guess I will remember to go through this jar first when I'm looking for something before cutting up new pieces. Oh, there's a lot. It's even hard to get in here. My goodness. So now these can really breathe, and I will have a much easier time looking through these because I can actually move them. That's really nice. And this jar looks super cute. Love it. And then of course I can put these wooden spools now in a jar like some of you suggested. I think a small one would be enough. Adorable. And we have an empty drawer again. Yay! So I have a big one and a small one left, and I will leave those empty now because maybe there's something we'll come across that will be perfect for in here. I don't just want to fill it with random things just to fill them. So this is what they look like on top of my cupboard now. Super cute! I used to store boxes up there, which of course looked absolutely horrible, especially given that this is in my living room. But this is really cute. I would not put things up there that I would need on a daily basis because I do need to kind of reach for it. But for things that I need once in a while, I think it's a really cute idea. Maybe this is something you could do as well. So I'd say today was more about reorganizing than decluttering. I am happy with the progress I made on this door. A lot more space now, looks very organized. I love that. I love my box of vintage stamps, so hopefully you will see these more in videos. We of course have the beautiful jars. They make me so happy. Then we have this space here, which is so much better organized and utilized now. And I didn't declutter a huge amount, but it does make a difference overall. So I'm happy with the progress that I made today. Thank you so much for all your input. Mwah, mwah.